Welcome back to The Explainer. Today is a huge day because we have officially reached the finale, part 15, of our 15-part tutorial on modern telecommunications. We're going to tie all these concepts together and set the stage for an epic leap from the old-school legacy copper wires of the past all the way to the futuristic AI-driven networks of tomorrow. But real quick, before we dive in, we have to give a massive shout-out to the folks who provided the source material for this capstone chapter. This entire comprehensive tutorial comes to us from Virtualization Options LLC. They're a Colorado-based technology research, education, and advisory organization, and they've done an absolutely brilliant job mapping out the intricate tech that powers our connected world. This final chapter is where all those foundational pieces finally click together. So, here is our roadmap for today's hybrid evolutionary stack. We'll start with the foundations of global connectivity, move into the digital and IP revolution, then the mobile networks and wireless evolution, explore converging cloud and fiber, and finally wrap up with the AI-driven intelligent future. All right, Section 1, Foundations of Global Connectivity. To really grasp where we're going, we absolutely have to understand the physical cables and analog signals that formed the original base of global communications. And that brings us to a seriously pivotal concept, the Nyquist-Shannon sampling theorem. Now, this isn't just some abstract math equation you'd learn and forget. No, this is literally the bridge between the analog world of human sound and the digital world of computers. Basically, it states that a continuous analog signal can be perfectly reconstructed into digital samples as long as your sampling rate is at least twice the highest frequency of that signal. Let's talk about a very specific number, 8,000. Why 8,000? Well, the human voice typically tops out around 3,400 hertz. So early telephone engineers chose 8,000 samples per second to safely cross that Nyquist minimum. That exact rate flawlessly captures human speech intelligibility. It is the core reason legacy phone calls sound the way they do, and honestly, it's the foundational unit of capacity that all digital telephony was built upon. But how do we actually route those signals? Well, we underwent a massive shift. Back on the legacy public switch telephone network, we relied on circuit switching. That gave you a dedicated, guaranteed end-to-end path. Great for voice, but horribly wasteful, right? Because the line stayed open and ate up capacity even when absolutely no one was talking. On the flip side, packet switching uses statistical multiplexing to dynamically allocate bandwidth based on bursty data traffic. It's dynamic, it's demand-ridden, and it literally made the modern internet possible. Moving right along to Section 2, the digital and IP revolution. This is where digital hierarchies and IP addressing completely took over the telecommunications world. The crucial vocabulary lesson here is the 7-layer OSI reference model. Even though it was standardized way back in 1984, it remains absolutely indispensable for IT professionals today. At the bottom, you've got Layer 1, the physical layer, your raw bits and cables. Layer 2 is the data link, handling local Ethernet frames. Up at Layer 3, the network layer, we introduce IP addressing and routing across networks. And Layer 4, the transport layer, handles end-to-end TCP and UDP. Speaking of Layer 3 IP addressing, we recently faced a dramatic transition. For decades, we relied on IPv4. It gave us 4.3 billion addresses, which seemed like plenty at first, but we ran out rapidly. We literally had to use NAT, network address translation, basically overbooking the network just to keep things running. But the future is IPv6, and it completely changes the game with a massive 128-bit space, mandatory IPsec for built-in security, and stateless auto-configuration for true plug-and-play networking. To grasp just how massive that IPv6 upgrade really is, wrap your head around this number, 340 undecillion addresses. That is 340 followed by 36 zeros. It's a staggering, almost comical scale. It means we have more than enough globally routable IP addresses to assign one to every single smart fridge, sensor, and smartphone on the planet. Address scarcity is completely eliminated for the foreseeable future. Okay, Section 3, Mobile Networks and Wireless Evolution. Let's look at how mobile voice and data finally broke free from those physical copper loops. Cellular networks have somehow managed to compress decades of insanely complex technological leaps into what feels like seamless global coverage today. Think about it. In the 1980s, 1G gave us basic analog voice. The 90s brought 2G, introducing digital signals and SMS text messaging.
By the 2000s, 3G crossed the threshold into the mobile internet. Then the 2010s saw 4G LTE replace circuit switching entirely with an all-IP architecture. And now, in the 2020s, 5G is bringing us massive MIMO to handle thousands of simultaneous, ultra-high-speed connections.
A key piece of this modern wireless magic is OFDMA, or Orthogonal Frequency Division Multiple Access. OFDMA brilliantly solves the problem of radio waves bouncing off buildings and arriving at your phone at slightly different times. Engineers call this multipath interference, and it's basically a confusing radio echo. OFDMA tackles this by dividing the bandwidth into hundreds of narrow, orthogonal subcarriers. This allows for highly efficient spectrum utilization, even in super challenging, crowded urban environments. Next up, Section 4, Converging Cloud and Fiber. Let's zoom way out to the macro scale, where massive optical fiber backbones have blurred the physical boundaries with cloud computing. There is incredible synergy happening in this space. For decades, traditional physical telecom server racks and enterprise computing were completely separate, siloed worlds. But today, those old telecom racks are symbiotically merged with hyperscale cloud security architecture. Telecommunications services themselves are being reimagined and delivered entirely as cloud-hosted, virtualized applications. And what actually makes that global cloud scale possible? DWDM, or Dense Wavelength Division Multiplexing. Honestly, this is mind-blowing. A single fiber strand, literally thinner than a human hair, can now carry the entire internet traffic of a decade ago. It does this by using different colors or wavelengths of light to simultaneously carry dozens to hundreds of independent data channels over the exact same fiber. It's the elegant physics of total internal reflection, and it's what powers the massive cloud. Finally, we reach Section 5, the AI-driven intelligent future. This is the climax of Chapter 15, moving up to the application and management layers of tomorrow's fully autonomous networks. The absolutely crucial concept for this future is the digital twin. A digital twin is a continuously updated virtual software replica of a physical network. Imagine wanting to test a massive, risky update. With a digital twin, operators can do real-time simulation, monitoring, and optimization without ever touching the live gear. It's a perfect software mirror, reflecting the real-time state of every single network element in link. This marks what is probably the most transformative shift in telecom history. We are moving away from legacy human-operated dashboards. The networks of the coming decade will be fully AI-operated. We're talking about systems capable of autonomous reasoning, perceiving their own state, predicting future network congestion before it even happens, and executing incredibly complex configurations completely without human intervention. Which leads us perfectly to this final paradigm, sourced directly from Virtualization Options LLC. Think in systems. For the IT professionals watching, mastering the future means you have to move past legacy silos. You can't just be a radio expert or a cloud expert anymore. You really must adapt your professional scope to comprehend how radio physics, cloud orchestration, cryptography, and artificial intelligence all interact holistically across the entire telecommunications stack. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you ready to think in systems? As we wrap up this 15-part journey, it's crystal clear that the future of connectivity is an intelligent, programmable nervous system wrapping the globe. The technology is going to keep evolving at breakneck speed, but your ability to see the big picture is what will ultimately define your success. Keep learning, keep adapting, and we'll see you on the next explainer.